Today we're taking a look at Harmonic Sonic, the 8th episode of Season 1, and it begins with a group of what I assume to be robots boarding a large rocket with a spherical end. Said spherical section is Robotnik's newest creation, Sky Spy. That doesn't sound good. As the rocket takes off, one of its booster engines breaks off and falls back towards Mobius. Quality control hasn't been one of Robotnik's strong suits. The booster crash lands in the Great Forest near Knothole, alerting our heroes to its presence. Right away, they think Robotnik is up to something, and they spot that something up above. Through a telescope, they, and the audience, sees that Sky Spy has developed its numerous satellite dishes and antennae. At least Robotnik will get a strong television signal. Sonic sees something that needs to be smashed.
But oh, it is way up there, and we are way down here.
And that's where the rocket booster comes in. A good treadmill run gives the thing some much needed juice. Before they utilize it, the Freedom Fighters learn the potential danger of Sky Spy. Robotnik picked up some electromagnetic energy from the Great Forest and sent a stealth bot to investigate. Yeah, our heroes need to take care of this thing or else it's game over. Sonic and Rotor set a trap for it. Again, using the power of treadmill technology. The trap shoots some kind of energy waves, causing the stealth bot to fly out of control and crash into the water. With the immediate problem solved for now, the Freedom Fighters ready the booster so Sonic and Rotor can fly up and take care of Sky Spy. Because it's a rocket booster and not a proper ship, Rotor has to hotwire and jury-rig a bunch of things so the two can land on the satellite in one piece, relatively speaking. They sneak around the base until they're ambushed by this surveillance bot with a blaster in its chest because, why not? It transmits Sonic and Rotor's intrusion straight to Robotnik, and while Sonic throws his usual taunts, every robot on the station now knows there are Freedom Fighters present. For example, this drooling robot, again I assume it's a robot, uses its tentacles to briefly ensnare our heroes, before Sonic uses his speed to tie the thing up. As the two catch a breather, they realize, yeah, they have to find the exact area they need to sabotage. It just so happens there's a robot cantina nearby. Hey, even robots need a place to recharge every once in a while. Thanks to some nearby junk, Sonic disguises himself as a robot and wants to jam with the robot band. I guess this is where the Harmonic part of the episode title comes in. He gets into a brief conflict with this two-headed horn bot. Turns out, there's this rivalry between Sky Spy's departments, which Sonic exploits. He tricks the horn bot into revealing the location of Sky Spy's sensors. Sonic could have just left then and there, but he had to keep taunting Hornbot. As such, his cover is literally blown. It doesn't matter, Sonic has the intel and bolts back to Rotor. They head to the spy sensors, where Sonic disconnects the main sensor tube. Sonic throws said tube down the shaft because it's too hot even for him.
Whoa, that sucker's hot. Ooh, wait.
Told ya, that little act causes the entire station to start electrifying. Regardless, it worked. Robotnik can no longer track anything and has to recall a second stealth bot sent towards the Great Forest. Back to Sonic and Rotor, they steal a hover unit to head back to Mobius. Only, this thing is too slow for Sonic's liking. A few switch flips later, and the thing goes from 10 to warp speed in seconds. No, seriously, look at it. They make it back to Knothole, for the most part. I just realized, this is the second vehicle they crashed in this episode. Sally informs them that thanks to their tampering, Sky Spy's orbit is a bit wonky and might crash into the planet. How will they solve this problem? Have Rotor use a super magnet he has lying around and draw Sky Spy in so that it crashes onto the planet. Yeah. To be fair, the crash site appears to be a wasteland, and the Freedom Fighters feared it might crash into a populated area or something. Well, whatever. The day is saved, though Sonic's looking a bit frizzled. Rotor has a solution, a hairstyling machine, and in keeping with the rule of 3, it's treadmill powered. Sonic uses it and wow. Well, it could work. You do have a third cartoon series in which you're a rock star. I have a feeling that this episode's writer took cues from Star Wars. There's a space station that's a threat to a hidden rebel base that needs to be destroyed. The hero disguises himself in an attempt to blend in. There's even a cantina scene filled with strange creatures. Though again, I assume they're all actually robots. Robotnik's plan of using Sky Spy as his eyes and ears for all of Mobius is pretty sound. having the ability to locate resistance fighters and hidden civilizations and then attack them. It would increase the fear and weaken the free people with constant attacks, and Robotnik's rule over the planet would solidify further. Sonic's group could hold off the inevitable a few times, but eventually they would lose. They only have finite resources and have to scrounge Robotropolis's junkyard for materials, like the cotter pins in the pilot episode. The only reason they were able to take down Sky Spy before it got serious was due to a lucky accident. They'd be screwed if that rocket booster hadn't crashed nearby. Some of you may wonder why Sky Spy doesn't have a death laser to take care of these hidden civilizations. I have a few theories. 1. The powers that be don't want to be too on the nose with the whole Star Wars influence. Well, more so than usual. 2. Despite being menacing, Robotnik still operates under Saturday morning cartoon villainy logic, meaning he didn't think to add such a device. Or 3. Robotnik wants to find and capture as many people as possible and subject them to the roboticizer. If you're going to maintain and expand your rule, one has to gather a lot of robotic slaves, am I right? Sonic and Rotor get the primary focus, which I enjoy. The two play off each other well, the speedy action hero and the genius who'd rather build things in his lab. Rotor does step up in the action department in this episode, plus he has gone out in the field a number of times. And Sonic has some clever moments of his own, like tricking the Hornbot into revealing the location of the spy sensors. If I have one major gripe, it's the resolution. Now I'd buy that Rotor would have something like the super magnet lying around, but having it pull a space station down all the way from orbit? Yeah, that's ridiculous. As for why they didn't do it sooner, I guess Sonic and Rotor's sabotage altered the magnetic field enough to attack it. In my opinion, a better resolution would be to say, when Sonic tosses the main sensor tube down the shaft, not only does it cause the station to electrify, but it inadvertently causes a critical failure that will destroy the station in minutes. Sonic and Rotor can still use the hover unit and its warp drive to escape, only this time with Sky Spy exploding in the background. Yes, it's cliche, but it's a Saturday morning cartoon series that was made in the early 90s. Just go ahead and embrace it. If you need to pad out things, have scenes of Robotnik launching the second stealth bot and have it scan the Great Forest. With it getting close to Knothole, Sally and company could get worried since Sonic and Rotor aren't here to stop it. You can even keep the aftermath of Sonic getting frizzled and using the hairdryer machine gag. I'd rather have that than the let's save the planet from a dangerous machine by having said machine crash onto the planet. And I think that's why the alien-looking things are robots. Cannot destroy organic things on this show. Also, convenient that there are no robot-sized Mobians on board, as far as we know. Besides the ridiculous resolution, this is an alright episode. If nothing else, watch it for the Sonic-Rotor dynamic.
We hate brain bots here.
Yeah, must be a bummer not to have a brain.